2002 Mazda MPV. We got to cut keys and program keys. What I want to focus on in this video is how to obtain the PIN code for this type of vehicle. Now inside of this car you have a Lucas immobilizer, which is up underneath the dash, and this is the way that thing looks right here. This is a better picture of it, and what we're trying to do is we're going to use the serial number down here, and we're going to convert that serial number to the PIN code that's needed, which is called a code word, that's needed to program the key into the car. After removing that immobilizer, we plugged into the vehicle, and we're going to use our T code to decode the serial number, and this one popped right up. There's our PIN code. That's what we'll use to, that's the sequence of that we'll use to program the key into this car. Basically you cannot program a key into this car without this PIN code. You have to have it. It's called a code word, and there's a procedure for using that, using the key indicator on the dash. We'll get to that next. Copy down this PIN code. We no longer need this machine. Everything from this point will be done manually. So we got our key cut for the car. Now we didn't have to turn the ignition on to retrieve the code word from that Lucas immobilizer. So that gave me time to go ahead and cut the key for the vehicle while we were waiting for that code word to appear. Procedures basically for everything. And if there's not, then a part of what we do is develop those procedures, and we try to pass those along to other locksmiths who need to do this kind of work. I'm all automotive primarily, and what we're going to do today is basically put that key in the ignition. We're going to turn it on and then turn it back off. We're going to do that 5 times in just a few short seconds. In other words, we're not going to have any more than 1 second between positions. And then we're going to turn the key back on within 20 seconds of the last turning it off. And we're going to wait for about 5 minutes while that flashing light slows down to a point where we can enter the code word. I'll show you what that flashing light looks like. Essential element used in programming on this car, something that you might invest in, is a simple stopwatch. That way you can make sure that the times that you actually have to wait, you're waiting, and you know what your time limits and constraints are. So this is another essential tool here in programming keys into the Mazda 2002 MPV. Okay, here we go. I'm going to turn it on and off. We cycled our ignition on and off the 5 times that's required, and then turned it back on within 20 seconds. You see that flashing light? That's the way it looks like. Now it's going too fast right now to do programming or to enter the code word. So that's why that stopwatch is very important. 5 minutes from now, I'll show you what that light looks like once it is slowed down to the point where you can enter the code word. Once you enter the code word, which you do basically between the when the light is off, you turn the key off, and then you turn it back on and let that light blink for however many numbers that is in the code word. In other words, say like the first number is 5, you'll let that light blink 5 times, and when the light is off, you turn the key back off, then you turn it back on, enter the second number, and so forth. But you do that, and the code word is 8 numbers long. Looks like we got about 4 minutes left. So the thing you want to do before you get started doing any of this, if you're going to a car that hasn't been operated for a while, you want to make sure you got a good battery, that the battery's charged. And if not, since this procedure takes about a good 10 or 15 minutes, you need to make sure you got a good strong battery pack. For discussion, and another tip here, now you got to realize that while you're entering the code word, you only have you need to cycle that ignition from the lock position back to on to enter that next number within 30 seconds. If you take longer than 30 seconds between entering the next code word, your system will go out of programming, and you got to wait for a while before you can get back in. Basically, you got to start the whole procedure over again. So it's important to have all your information in front of you, your code word, and understand your procedure before you begin. That way you can flow smoothly through the procedure, and once you've entered the last number as far as the code word is concerned, the security light will just stay illuminated. You turn your key off, put your key back in, start the car. I'm going to show you all of that. You should probably understand also that once you start entering the code word, if you have a problem and you make a mistake, you need to wait 45 seconds and then you start over. There it is. We're ready to start entering code. 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Code word entered. That solid light right there. Car's ready to start. Here we go. And once we started, the light should stay on for maybe a couple of seconds and then go out. There we go. Car's running. And we're done. Important thing you got to remember. Okay, locksmiths, you got cell phones, you got all kinds of stuff going on at the same time. But when you're programming a key into a Mazda, you need to turn your cell phone off. If you don't turn it off, just let it ring to do whatever you got to do. Because if you make mistakes, you have to start over. And every time you start over, you're just doubling the amount of time that you should have taken to program a key into one of these type of vehicles. So remember, this procedure requires your undivided attention. Either case, I thank God for allowing me to bring this information to you today, and I hope that it's been useful to you and that it'll help you do what you do as a locksmith. Either case, be blessed.